Welcome to another episode of Grade Pending. I'm your host, as always, Paulie the Bull, no relation to Gravano. This is the show where we, grade movies, shows, a lot of streaming stuff going on. So everything is pretty much on streaming apps and things like that. But this movie that we're going to talk about right now is also in theaters. I ain't go see it, but it's there. We're going to talk about Mortal Kombat right now. And as always, we got a unique grading system here. Awesome, which is the top of the top, the cream of the crop, the best of the best. We got Dope, which is very good, not perfect, not the bestest, but hey, it's a good show, good piece of entertainment. We got Meh, which basically is all right, or watched it once, not trying to watch it no more. And then we got straight trash. I'm never watching it again. It was hot garbage. Get this out my face. Why did I spend money on this? However you feel about it, all right? But we're going to do our individual reviews right now first. So you see what everybody else feel about it. Then we'll come back together as a group and converse about it. So.
Hey. So I'm going to have to give it a meh. I enjoyed it, though. I really did enjoy the movie. I thought it was, the movie was good. I think it was very nostalgic in the sense of bringing back good old memories, like from the video game. The original movie was terrible. Like I said, it was meh. I enjoyed it. When I was watching it with my loved one, he fell asleep watching it. So I had to make this little snarky remark. And I was like, yo, where's Chun-Li? And that woke his ass up. He goes, you did not just make that reference. I was like, oh, now you paying attention? But obviously, no Chun-Li street fight. I was just like, oh, boy, Joey. But it was good for what it was worth. Definitely not movie theater worthy, but it's worth watching it.
Yeah, it was meh. After reading that IGN, thing talking about it would be a 7, I was expecting it to look like a 7, especially after that 7 minutes they gave us. That was a hard 7 minutes, but it was lackluster. I'm kind of I see what they're doing. Like they're trying to set up a whole backstory, which is different than what they did back in the 90s. When we all knew Liu Kang Katana was a love interest and just pushed the whole story along and so forth. Like I in that even back then, like Scorpion was like a bad guy, Sub-Zero looked as a good guy, and then you see the whole plot of how Scorpion was, has family, and then the Liu Kuai, they gang, all shit like that. But it was after that 7 minutes, it was just whatever. I see the storyline that they're trying to go with. And it's cool that you're trying to build a universe to it. You're trying to build something to it, but I ain't gonna front. At times that CGI was straight trash. Like there was a few scenes where like Jax and General Reiko were on a bridge, and it was kind of, I guess you're trying to look like the whole Mortal Kombat 2 feel of like doing the uppercut, when you go into the pit of death. But the CGI was straight trash at times. The acting was at times. It's a fun movie, but it's really nothing to really get that hype into. But again, I see they're trying to go into a whole little, build a story and trying to absolve people and bring more people in, and it was forced at times. Like even the Johnny Cage reference at the end was just forced. Like you can already assume I'm going to Hollywood. Okay, cool, Johnny Cage. And then there's a poster, Cage. I'm like, really? You just couldn't leave nothing to imagination. We just knew it, all right? You had to go through. But overall, it wasn't trash, but it was just meh. It's an enjoyable film. It's nothing I would go in the movie theater to see, even though Adam did give me a $7 movie ticket off, but I'm still not gonna watch it with that off. Even in the matinee. But I'm good off the one, my HBO Max one time only thing right there. So that's it.
Well, after hearing that review, I'm kind of happy I got an Android and I'm able to watch certain movies for free. But with that being said, yeah, I'm gonna keep it short, man. It was a mess to me. It was enjoyable. Don't get me wrong. I did like the movie. It's just that certain movies are meant to be watched in the theater And certain movies are meant to be watched in your living room. I chose the living room. Yeah, I really did. I did like the dynamic between Sub Zero and Scorpion because I see they did change their history a little bit, or maybe I found out more about how Scorpion is more of a good guy and Sub Zero is a bad guy. But other than that, they could have been a little bit more better on the storyline. But it was enjoyable. It was okay. Not too crazy. I see what they're trying to do. Trying to give you a whole trilogy. I didn't expect too much. Look at the '90s, Mortal Kombat. Look at now, Mortal Kombat. It ain't gonna get no better. It ain't gonna get no worse. More blood, more fatalities, less fatalities. Not that big of a deal. We just gotta watch it, see what they do with it. And honestly, I'm just here for the whatever two they're gonna make next. And yeah, that's what I got. That's really all I got. Because, like I said, it was meh to me. So it was okay. It was enjoyable. I agree with everybody else. I really didn't expect too much. You gave me different characters compared from the other back in 2 decades ago. Hey, let's see what's next.
So I'm gonna continue the theme with meh. Only reason I don't give it a terrible is because my 8-year-old daughter stood there and watched it with me, and she was hyped through every fight scene. So for those of you that know my daughter, Mortal Kombat is not her type of movie. So for her to sit there and be like, oh, and get into it, they pull the right people in. So I'll give them a meh on that alone. Definitely could have built on the storyline. I mean, they started off fire with that first 7 minutes. I think they could have kept rolling with the Scorpion theme throughout the whole movie. We didn't even need to see his bloodline down it could have just been him protecting every champion going forward, till we got to the point where he showed himself again. That's the way I would have taken it. We didn't need this whole, his bloodline this, bloodline that. I agree, some of the graphics could have been better. No one's mentioned this yet so far, so I'm gonna say the comedy was hilarious at points. I think Kano really saved the movie a lot of times when it was dragging, and he came with some funny tidbit here and there that grabbed your attention. Like, all right, cool. I remember why I'm sitting down and watching this. But yeah, Kano's comic relief. I think the guy that played Cole, I don't know. It didn't feel like he was in the movie more than like he was acting on a TV show. That's the kind of feel I got from him, like he was acting on a TV show. A really bad soap opera that he was a part of. All around, it's a meh for me. My daughter loved it. She's looking forward to more. I think they should stick to Sub-Zero and Scorpion. That tandem right there, it works. Both those actors together work. So before one of them die or get sick or something, they need to hurry up and start building out their characters. I hated the way they did Reptile too. I think Reptile could have been saved later on for a part 2 because Sub-Zero and Scorpion dominated, the movie. Kept that third little group maybe for part 2. But yeah, for me, all around, meh.
And yeah, I guess it's a unanimous decision. I agree. It was just meh. I went into it, I went into it feeling like how I went to see Godzilla and Kong. I'm here for the fights. Not really gonna care about the story. It's gonna be what it is. I want to see how they do the fights. Then I watched that first 7-minute clip, and I was like, okay, they may have a little story to it. Cool. The 7-minute clip cut off right where the story went downhill, and when you watch the movie, you see, Scorpion dying and him not coming back to the end of the movie. It was like, well, that was the best. Them two, their dynamic, Sub-Zero, Scorpion, was the best part, was the highlight of the movie. Don't care about his great grandkids. Cole, who never heard of him. He's not in any of the games. Get him out of here. And the highlights of the movie was Kano was probably the best character in the whole movie. Sub-Zero was the best like he was the dopest character in the movie. Like his moves and everything was great. And the fights were trash. Like I said, I went into it just mainly looking forward to the fights, and they cut the camera so quick that you couldn't really see the action until they stopped and focused on the fatality. And that was the highlight. They showed you the fatalities that they did. Hey, watch you play the game. Remember this? They did that, and that was the best thing. But the fights itself, it cut too quick. It was like, okay, stunt doubles and bad choreography, so they had to hide it. And I didn't care about any of the characters. If I didn't know the game, I wouldn't remember their names the next day, except for Sub-Zero. And I think it was corny how they told you, he's like, I'm no longer whatever his name is, I'm Sub-Zero. And everybody had to say their name, and then they randomly said, flawless victory. And it was like, find a better way to throw the catchphrases in the movie. Just me saying flawless victory just sounds corny. I like how the original one did it, where Shang Tsung was watching and he said it. It made more sense. A spectator would say flawless victory instead of me doing it and saying it. It just was cheesy. They threw too many characters in there just to throw them in there and then not have a tournament. You know what I'm saying? It was like, oh, the tournament didn't start yet. All right, well, I'm gonna block them off until they did. No, we're gonna break it anyway and we're gonna fight. But then what about the tournament? And then Cole becomes the captain of the team. He's like, all right, you fight them. Who made you the man? Like, you suck. Like, you get beat up for a living. Like, stop it. Get out of my face, little nigga. So it was bad, man, all around. It wasn't trash. It definitely could have been worse. It looked good. Visually, it looked good with the advancement of technology since the originals, but other than it looking good and touching on nostalgia, it was bad. So.
Goro physically looked great.
Yeah,
and that was because of technology. Yeah, he looked good because of technology. But outside of that, like it should, it was just so forced with that shit.
Yeah,
like Kung Lao, flawless victory, or even somebody doing the fatality. He said
The cheesy
fatality.
lines were like,
I just need to know when everybody saw this movie, right? Was it just me? But when Cole was introduced, I was like, wait, who?
I said that when they showed the trailer. When I saw the trailer a couple months ago, I was like, who's Cole? I'm like, I know they have the Mortal Kombat X and 11 or whatever now. I haven't played a few of them recently, but I'm like, who's Cole? I never seen a Cole.
Didn't they say that they signed, I guess, the guy who plays Sub-Zero? I think he did an interview saying that he got signed for like 7 more movies.
4. He signed up for 4 movies, just in case.
The best part,
he the best
when the director did the interview, he said that the guy who played Hanzo / Scorpion and the guy who plays Sub-Zero, they are so good at their fighting that even when they were doing the scenes, they moved so fast that the cameras couldn't catch.
They had to slow down.
They were like, they had to slow down. I'm like,
I saw that.
You try to slow down. I'm gonna have to watch this movie again if y'all got to slow it down.
But
because
they said
y'all could have definitely moved more
back
faster.
in the days. Bruce Lee he was so quick they recorded him and slowed it down. So do that. Technology now can capture multiple frames per second now, so the cameras are better than before. Record it and then slow it down.
Yeah.
Right.
Like it's in terms of
Jared.
No, I was saying in terms of an origin story, it gave a good origin to Kano because in the original, if you're comparing original to this, Kano was already a bad guy. We already knew he was a bad guy. He already had like the red eye with the metal plate. Like this, it was trying to give, and I got it. It's the first movie. It's trying to give you backstory to how these people evolved these things, and him saying, like I'm a Black Dragon Clan, thug life, Cabal, was like
all day.
He a turncoat,
He's like, yo, come get your man, bro.
He's gonna sell him out. But like when they show Cole, I knew, like, after seeing Sub-Zero killing Scorpion and so forth, and they show Cole, like the kind of colors he wore, in my mind I'm saying, okay, so he's supposed to be Scorpion, but when is he going to be Scorpion? And then like it was a slow evolving to him having flashbacks and
he kept having nightmares of Scorpion.
He trying to find his aura.
Honestly, I don't think if they didn't have Scorpion or Sub-Zero, I don't think the movie would have done as great as they would have believed.
Yeah, I don't know whose idea was it to make Cole the focal point, because the whole time we're wondering when is Scorpion coming back.
Right.
He does come back. It was stupid because he just pops up. He's like, I'm back. Let's fight again. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, you remember the movie they put out with Mortal Kombat, the anime version with Scorpion, His Revenge? They could have used that dynamic of Scorpion trying to come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. And they could have used that option. Scorpion could have came back in the middle and killed everybody at one point.
Because they
Because that's how nice
explained
he was.
they explained the different realms and all that stuff, and it's like, all right, so Raiden couldn't go get him or something, like he's in the hell realm or whatever, just chilling, but he's invading.
Can I just say I had a problem with Jax's little animatronic arms until he got his fucking.
He was a transformer.
Dude, I'm sorry. No, right.
And
So he had those little bony ass arms.
His Kai transformed his arms. I'm like, what?
When I legit saw those skinny animatronic arms, I said, bitch, I'm like, stop the movie. I was like, stop the movie right now. And then I was like, all right. So then when he finally got his arms, and I said, really? They just couldn't fucking install those arms in the first place? Like, I was so bothered by that. I was just like,
take my.
Why am I still watching this? I'm like, what?
Yo, it was like a car accident you can't look away from. You just have to still keep watching it.
Yo,
Here's how bad.
terrible.
You see, here's how bad that was, because I can't even remember what the name they gave everybody's special, like, their aura, whatever, because there was an actual name for it. I can't remember it.
Yeah.
But like, everybody laughed at Sony like, you don't got a marker. And then all of a sudden, she kills Kano, miraculously and then she learns her power in 2 seconds. Everybody over here struggling, trying to figure out what they're doing.
Because the bitch was hungry. Is that white privilege? I said it. Don't judge me.
Hey, yo.
Don't judge me.
But I love when watching the old Mortal Kombat, they made a better version of Liu Kang than they did in this one. Liu Kang out here worshiping his cousin. I'm like, bro, if you don't throw some balls and
I
you
was
just
gonna say Liu Kang's
got,
body was ripped. I said,
yo,
hold up.
How does man?
Like, that's CGI. That's or is that real?
That was the one thing I said to myself, like, yo, Liu Kang back then was way better than the Liu Kang right now. His cousin died, you still getting your ass whooped. Come on, bro. You was the man back then, Liu Kang. Now you ain't shit.
But that was a vegan brand. That was a vegan
that
brand.
Was a vegan brand.
He said vegan. I'm done.
Yeah.
You couldn't have a dominant
on that keto diet
and then have Cole still be the team leader. Like, that wouldn't have worked.
And that's why they failed introducing this Cole character. Like, it made no sense. And then he's calling shots. He's like, no, you fight so-and-so. She's like, nah, I want to fight the chick with the teeth. No, you gonna fight
Melina? That's my bitch. I love her. I kick ass with her on the game. Fight me. Okay?
That's a challenge you don't want, Michelle.
Oh, God. What's this one saying?
Sound like we got a challenge. I don't know.
Let's do it. Yo, I kick ass.
If we play Mortal Kombat and Michelle here looking for Chun-Li, we got a problem.
The grade pending Mortal Kombat tournament.
Yo, don't sleep on me, bro. Episode or something, I don't know.
Michelle gonna talk about, yo, where's Ryu at? Ryu.
That? What? What he say?
I said, you're gonna be out here, we're gonna try to play Mortal Kombat. You were like, hey, where's Chun-Li and Ryu at? I'm like, oh,
no. So funny enough. So again, like I was saying, I was watching the movie, right? Whatever. My boyfriend was falling asleep. So I was like, let me see if his ass wakes up. I was like, yo, what happened to Chun-Li? And he goes, did you just say that? And he's like, I know you're fucking with me. And I said, of course I'm fucking with you.
Men do not tolerate that type of disrespect.
The disrespect is movie night, and your ass is supposed to be awake watching it with me. All right, that's a disrespect. So I had to bring it up a notch. And then he just looked at us. They did, but I was just like, I know
they did have a game, Mortal Kombat versus Street Fighter. So
yeah.
I remember that.
It was released. It was in Japan. It was a Japanese game, I believe.
Japanese release only, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I know they crossed over Mortal Kombat with the DC characters, and they had Capcom versus Street Fighter. I didn't know they had a
Capcom and Street Fighter.
But
like I was saying,
Mortal
Kombat. I kick ass in Injustice.
Yeah.
I play
Exactly. That's how bad it got.
You talk about the game.
Like if you're gonna force, if you're gonna force, fatality and flawless victory, you could have paid somebody to say, "Too, Steve." Like you could have paid somebody to do that on the uppercut.
Yeah.
Yo,
He
matter
was
of
bad.
fact,
Somebody.
what Paul said was right though. It could have been,
Like,
it could have
come
been
on,
Shang
bro.
Tsung could have said all those things that happened. Shang Tsung could have just said it while watching it,
Right.
or they could have just had like in the background somebody could have just said it like how they did it in the
In the
music
original.
when they did the music in Mortal Kombat in the 90s,
But there was no
like flawless
spectators because they never
victory.
got to the tournament.
Right.
They never
Or
even
it,
That was
what,
the
Yo,
downside. Where
in
where
my
the
gonna lie
fuck
to
was
you.
the tournament?
Yo,
it should have
I'm
been
not gonna lie
Raiden
to you.
saying it this time. This time you should have heard Raiden say
right.
Yo,
victory.
but
That would have
this
made
is the
more.
part that I didn't get. Raiden gonna run around talking about, yo, I can't interfere. My G, your man's interfered 3 times. He went to
No,
your crib
more
and
more
showed
than
up
3 times.
and was like, nah, we're gonna kill your people. What you mean? I'm a
He's been
guy. You ain't
interfering
doing
since the
none of that.
beginning of time.
Thank you.
That's what I'm saying. It was more than 3 times.
Yeah, he's been
It was
interfering since the tournament
like
He was
began.
being disrespectful.
Yeah.
Yo,
He
Shang
woke
Tsung
it up in
said.
his house.
yo,
Shang Tsung said,
between
"We
that
cheat.
dynamic
We've
and
been
Paul
cheating the
saying
last
Cole,
9 tournaments."
between that dynamic and Cole really trying to tell people what to do, I'm like, yeah, this is not the movie for me.
But
And
you
Jack
know
should
that
have
it
been
was
dead.
such a given.
Jack should have been dead. When he got his arms
Well,
pulled,
they said
he hit his head on the rocks like he
cauterized his wound.
yeah,
Dude,
no,
when he
but
fell
not
off,
for
Nah,
his
the
when
way
he
he
fell
fell.
off and
when
hit
he
the
Yeah,
concrete,
fell.
I'm like, yo, he dead.
Yeah, he should have
He
been
fell,
dead.
hit the
Yeah.
concrete. He folded
Yo,
like the
the
guy last
head
night in
trauma.
the UFC fight where that broke his leg. He folded just like that.
Yeah, he
Fell
should have been
over
Yo,
dead.
and
the way
Word.
he fell and cracked that head open, that should have been a whole concussion. He
Yeah.
shouldn't have woke up.
Mhm.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
Somebody should have
okay,
yelled
cool. The
fatality
ice
for that.
froze his wounds, but that fall did not freeze that concussion.
Nah, that
It don't make
Word.
sense.
Like, I mean, but look, I mean, let's say, like Shang Tsung said, we cheated the last 9 tournaments. We not going to stop cheating. That's what we do. We break the rules. We come
Like,
in.
yo,
We snipe
we about this
everybody.
life
By the time the tournament
all
comes,
day.
they ain't nobody to represent.
Yeah.
We win by default. So that's what he's doing. It's the same stuff. Like, I get it. You're trying to cheat.
it was so
Woo.
bad. It was just
Like,
so
it was, man,
bad.
And it's
I'm not saying
crazy.
it wasn't like that bad. It was what we all agreed it was watchable. We
Okay, so like
picked it up.
when Cole
we
had to get
destroyed
his
it.
aura, you knew his family was gonna trigger the aura.
of course.
And I was like, bro, fucking get to it. When I saw whatever the fuck, oh god, I'm like blanking out. The fucking big guy with the fucking 4 arms, whatever the fuck his name is.
Goro. Goro.
Oh my god! So as a joke, I was like, "Oh look, it's Grogu." I almost got slapped. But anyways, so
Grogu? Yo, what? You hit him with the Yoda?
Yeah, I did. So anyways, so I was like, when I saw him walking towards the wife, I was like, rip that bitch in half. This nigga needs to fucking transform into whatever he's supposed to transform to. Yo. And I was just like, and when he fucking got his little golden armor, and I was just like,
Michelle, I got a question. Why are you so violent? You know what? You are the individual that needs to be snapped. When Thanos snapped his fingers, you had to go.
oh,
You
word?
out here,
That's how
people
you
got to get
feel?
murdered.
That's how
Yo,
you feel? Okay.
do you see everybody's face the way you talking? We all like this.
She's
Damn.
violent against women, though. She's violent against women. It's the second
Oh my
female that she said, kill that bitch. Like, this is the second one.
Because she's standing there and her kid's there, bitch, grab your kid and go. If your man died, he died. Get your kid and go.
Yo, I'm glad I can see everybody at the same time because Paul's like, damn it, man. And Lou's like, I just want to get out of here safe and sound. I don't want to show up in front of my house. So I'm about to kill this bitch.
Yeah.
And Jared was like, I don't want no problem. And I was just telling jokes.
I want no smoke.
See, I'm glad this man is recording all of this.
I am not violent. I'm a very happy, cheerful. Paul knows me for years. I'm
You
a
can
very
say that with a
bubbly
straight
person.
face.
Paul, I'm a very
Yo.
cheer, bubbly person, and you fucking know that.
What you drinking again?
Water
Uh,
with lemon.
Yeah.
Back to the
Seltzer water
movie.
with lemon.
Back
Back to the
movie.
movie. The movie, though.
I will say this about the movie. I am glad that they actually had Asian people play Asian roles.
Yeah.
Like, I'm glad you see Christopher Lambert.
yeah, you're right.
Christopher
It was
Lambert,
not whitewashed.
being Raiden. It's like, yo, like, come on, bro, you're not Raiden. Like, I'm glad
Speaking
it was an
of
actual
which-
Asian Raiden.
Well, first and
Speaking of which, what about
foremost,
that Shang-Chi
don't
trailer we saw?
Don't shit on Mr. Immortal, bro.
Shang-Chi trailer,
that
Shang-Chi
was-
trailer dropped last week.
It looked better. It looked better than Mortal Kombat.
Fire.
Way better
Yes.
It
than
looked better than
Mortal
Mortal Kombat. Way better
That
than Mortal
trailer
Kombat. I can't
was
wait for that.
fire. I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to seeing Aquafina as a comedic relief in that too.
Yeah.
She's hilarious.
Yo, I don't know nothing about Shang-Chi like that, but honestly, I can't wait.
From what
I don't need to find out.
this movie, this is going to take place during the snap. So 10 years,
Oh, during the 5 years?
the 10 years, basically the beginning of the MCU, his father, who's not Fing Fang Foom,
The
was
Mandarin.
not with the original
Mandarin.
10 rings, the original Mandarin was his pops, but they changed the name, and in 10 years ago, he told his son to go
Oh, snap.
Royal Oaks or whatever, and
His
then
father was the Mandarin?
yeah, but they combined they changed the story because it was offensive to Asian people, so they just made him a different name. But they combined in the two characters to make the Mandarin his Shang-Chi's pops. So
Yeah.
Really?
yeah, so during that 5-year span, so it's gonna lead up to some of the stuff maybe that the Flag Smashers was talking about. You know, it's gonna touch on maybe some of the stuff that Hawkeye was doing when he was Ronin and he was out there killing people in Asia. Some of that might tie in, and it also answers why they're in San Francisco and Ant-Man don't show up because he was in the quantum realm at the time. So, you know, so we might get a little bit of more information of what was going on during the snap in this movie as well. So that's interesting
Okay.
to see as well. So I'm definitely looking forward to Shang-Chi more than I'm looking forward to Mortal Kombat sequel.
No comment. Yeah.
True.
Any final thoughts on the Mortal Kombat movie though?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna watch obviously it's a given. We're gonna watch it whether we want to or not.
What, the sequel?
So it's one of those things that the sequels that come whether they do the 4 sequels or whatever the hell's coming up, like it's just a given. We're gonna watch it regardless. Just because you know, if you're a movie fanatic, even if it's terrible, just because of the fact that you grew up on it, you know what it's from, like you're just gonna watch it regardless. So I know that I'm gonna, again.
Trying to say people torture.
Yeah, so I mean, it's probably gonna be trash for the next rating, but you know what?
Maybe
It's
might
just
get better. Maybe they might
enjoyment.
hear
I hope so.
You know, it might.
Fix it. You know.
Wait,
Like I
I would
said,
actually like to see some Mortal Kombat in the next one.
right. Like
The
same way
same,
like Kong vs. Godzilla, they had to get it right the fourth movie. You know what I'm saying? And they finally got the fights right in that
we
movie.
watched that, and that was actually pretty good.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
I
So
want to
maybe
see
by
some
the
Mortal
fourth
Kombat. I
movie,
want to see
they might get it right.
I want to see the tournament style. Like,
Yes.
let's see that. Yeah.
Which is why I don't see why I need 4 movies to get to the tournament. Like,
I don't know.
yeah, the tournament should be the next
Or
movie.
maybe the second one. I don't know what the fuck going on.
I kept looking at my watch, like, how much time is left? Like,
That's
we
another
haven't
thing. It's like 2
tournament
hours
yet.
long, and it feels long. You start to like, when they gonna get to the tournament? Like when they go tournament? Like when they gonna get to the ring or something? Like, yeah, it felt long. So yeah, when the movie you start looking at your watch. That's a problem. No movie can be good when you gotta keep looking like that.
That was
They
just
gonna
as
fight.
me.
So, all right. Well, that's all we got on that. It's a wrap on that. Later, peoples.